Hello, nice to meet you everyone. My name is Răzvan Fabius Panda. I'm originally from Romania. I'm here in 2014. I'm a software engineer. I worked 8 years with C#. Since 2013 I started learning Haskell. I'm working with Haskell, which is an extremely powerful programming language, which we use at my company. My dream is, there's this thing called artificial general intelligence. It's a technical term for artificial intelligence that has human or above levels. It's basically like in movies. So the experts in AI and AGI estimate that by 2040, 2050, in average, we will create AGI. Our problem for humanity is to ensure that we will create good AGI and not unsafe AGI, like not Terminator or something like that. My dream is basically to contribute to help humanity achieve the goal of creating safe AGI. This is the goal of my company. I created it in 2017 in September. We haven't made any progress yet, so I'm going to talk about the project we're working on. But this is the goal basically. The overarching actual goal of the company is help humanity create safe AGI, collaborate with other companies that are working on AGI, like OpenAI, DeepMind, etc., etc. And okay, to do that, we need money to pay AGI researcher at my company. So to do that, I came with the idea of the following project, which I'm going to pitch right now. So the project is basically a social network, and what I'm trying to do basically is to make a social network that will have basically all of the benefits of the existing social networks, none of the drawbacks of the existing social networks. It's going to be kind of open source, but not the open source way. The code will be available for everyone to see and edit. They'll be able to contribute to it, but it will be like based on the open source rules. So anyone will be able to contribute to it basically for a social network. Like they will be able to contribute user interfaces. The social network, one of its features will be fully customizable user interfaces. So you will be able to customize the social network to look however you want it to look. You won't be forced into like just seeing something like on Facebook or Twitter just get sliced down. It could be tiles, it could be some 3D cube or something, but anything you can imagine can be a user interface. And since it's open source, everyone can contribute user interfaces and and themes. And this allows to build a marketplace of them, and everyone can use them once someone contributes a user interface. So that's one of the features. Another thing, even though it's a social network, the idea is to be extremely modular. So it's going to be able to enable a lot of modules. And these modules will allow it to be many things. Even though it's basically a social network, that is to be a social network because I think the most valuable thing for us humans is our connections between us. That's why I'm targeting a social network as the project to fund the money we need to get to fund AGI basically. Because I think the connections between us humans are the most valuable things. So this social network will be highly modular, and it will be able to install modules. For example, imagine a module for dating. A user will be able to enable the dating module, and it will be much better than Tinder or other things where basically you go and you only see. Oh, the time is up. Oh my god. Anyway, it's it's going to be highly configurable. The user interface sections will be very fast. The user will be able to opt into whatever data they wish to share or not, so they won't be forced to share anything. And we will listen truly to customer feedback and implement anything that the user wants, like on user voice. So, thank you very much.
It's it's hard work
Sorry,
standing.
didn't finish on time.
The hardest thing to do is first of all to turn up and then to finish on time. So don't worry. The whole purpose of the pitch deck, Pitch Perfect, is to let you get practice, because nothing is better than practice. And you've got a great audience. So Colin.
Well done, well done. For what it's worth, I was doing a talk last week, and I got lost in the middle of finding pieces where I got lost in the middle. I had to go to my notes on 2 occasions, so you know, you did very well, so don't worry about it. What Manav says is so important. At least you're here, you turned up and you stood up. Right? So therefore you're leagues ahead of those startups that are afraid to take that step. No startup is going to go on until somebody stands up and starts telling a story. So I applaud you for that. In terms of the idea, you know, when you arrive with your backpack and your pad and whatnot, I kind of realize that it's a different world. You know, I feel I'm mid-50s and I'm thinking, I'm getting very old, or you're getting very young. So it's a different world. So I don't quite understand. What I liked about what you said is you want to help humanity, and then you want to create safe AGI. I don't profess to understand AGI. I like the fact that you've got a mission. I really wish you well that. I think the project needs more work. It definitely needs more clarity. But I applaud the mission.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to say like
no, I get that. But again, this is what Manoj is doing here. And again, not to you. He's saying this is the real world. You have 5 minutes. It's in the elevator. Once the door opens, it's game over. So next time out, figure out how you maybe need to reduce the amount of information.
Just
Well, good luck. Congratulations.
Thanks, Colin. Yeah, I think following on from that point, Colin, there's a lot of information in there. In selling and in presenting, you can sell the sausage or the sizzle. I'll just explain that to you. The sausage, yeah, if you explain to everybody what the content of the sausage was, they'd either lose you or they wouldn't buy it. Versus the sizzle, which is the sizzle from that sausage, that's what people buy.
So I don't know what sizzle is.
Sizzle is when you put it on the sausage on the saucepan, on the frying pan, and you can smell it and hear it and see it. That's what people buy. They buy the sizzle rather than the sausage. I think the fact that you're here and like Pitch Perfect is, Manoj calls it Pitch Perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect pitch. You can get as near to perfect. And I think for you is the start of your journey. It is about getting your hours up, getting the mileage, putting in the hard yards. Just some tips and tricks I think that you might find useful. If we are made up, people are made up of being either audio, visual, kinesthetic. They're either, they respond to communication that's visual, thinking, or hearing. In that, and then there's the heart, the head and the heart. But if you think of those 3 things, most of your presentation was audio. And so the visual and kinesthetic people would not have enough information to think about or to look at. So if you're just going for audio, you're going to lose a lot of the audience insofar as getting your gig. I lost it on the explanation, so you lost me at the very start on the explanation of the product, and I began to switch off a wee bit because I thought you've gone so far ahead that it's too late for me to catch up. But I think you have passion, which is so important. You truly want to change the world and make the world a better place, and have good AI rule rather than bad AI rule. I did get that part. But your transfer of enthusiasm and passion for your product is excellent, so work on that and work on the other parts. Keep that.
Thank you, Colin. I mean, the thing you've got to bear in mind is, one thing that will help you focus and refine your pitch is to talk about what problem is it solving. So guys, would you like to just give me your feedback? What did you think of it? Was it a good idea? Okay. Do you think you would use or recommend it? Okay. Do you think he has a good brand name or a good story? Okay, something to work on. Do you think that he is a strong winning CEO? Okay. Do you think he'll succeed? Okay. How many of you would like to be involved and take part in his journey? There's some people you can talk to at the break. Right, guys. How are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah.
All right. Are you learning something?
Yeah.
Don't you think we have a great bunch of judges? Very insightful. Huh? Okay. Who's next? Number 4?
Good evening, everybody.
Just give me 1 minute.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your attention. My name is Katya. I am a former academic who's trying her hand at various startup positions. So tonight I'm going to tell you about my startup Celgebra that it aims at improving drug discovery productivity. So, pharmaceutical industry is suffering from an innovation crisis. This has been acknowledged for almost 10 years now, and it looks something like this. So the, oh, I'm doing this correctly, sorry. The, So the trend is that the number of drugs developed per unit of R&D investment is declining, and that is primarily due to R&D costs going up and the output staying flat. And the return on the R&D investment is declining as well, as you would expect, and some experts project that it may fall practically to zero in the next 20 years. That's a big problem. Oh, sorry. The main reason the R&D is so expensive is that the success rate of drug projects is extremely low. It's about 4%, which means that the drug companies have to start at least 25 projects to get to a successful drug at the end of it. And one of the major contributors to this problem is so the drugs fail for a number of reasons, but major contributor is the lack of efficacy. So when drugs are tried in humans, they don't actually do what they're supposed to do. And it's a good question why that is happening. So we have interviewed a number of R&D scientists, and the majority of them agree that we need new approaches. Our belief is that one of the reasons we see this failure in efficacy is because we do not understand very well the biology, the mechanistic basis of how drugs affect the cells. And I would like you to think for a second about all the cells in our body. There are about 200 types, and each of them has their own role to play. They do the right things at the right time. They grow when they should. They divide when they should. And well, unless you have a disease, in which case they don't do that. And the way they coordinate all this is by receiving signals from the external environment and from each other. And each of these cells inside of them has a complicated protein network which takes all the signaling inputs, and at the end of it makes a decision as to what cell is going to actually do. The problem is we don't understand how these things work very well, and our approach would be to have an extensive mapping for any one cell type of this network using a combination of molecular and mathematical modeling techniques. So by doing this, we hope to improve the, so we could much better pick the right drug targets that will work, and therefore ultimately improve the productivity. The question is, of course, how can you make a business out of this? It's a nice idea, you know. So upon doing some research, we decided that the best approach would be to in fact not have a service where you offer drug industry information about the targets, but rather than to develop what's called a lead compound against the targets that we have discovered, because this can be patented and IP protected, and therefore is a lot more valuable for the industry. And we already have a potential partner for the, because our expertise would lie in the discovery phase, but the development, we have a potential partner called Evotec, which is a large CRO. And the idea would be that we would develop a network for a single cell type, then try out several compounds, and we estimate based on hope for success rate and the investment necessary for the development of several compounds that the cost would be in the area of 25 million, and based on what the typical pharma deal you can get for a successful compound from 50 to 300 million. That would potentially be quite nice profit. We're quite far from that, in fairness. So we are at the moment looking for initial investment for proof of concept. We're also looking for a business partner from the pharmaceutical industry, because our team at the moment is rather heavily academical. Okay, that's all.
Well, that was an amazing presentation. I did a project to launch clinical trials online in the late 1990s, and the numbers are very compelling. So, first of all, Colin, do you want to ask any questions?
I don't know that I've got any questions. I want to congratulate you on those excellent, and I think very exciting. I can't claim to understand it all.
Yes, it's a problem when you have a very technical pitch.
But the important thing from my perspective is you understand it all. And you clearly know what you're about, you clearly know the market, you've done a huge amount of work in the background, you produced your revenue model. You did say, you did lose me in some technical stuff, but you did say, well, if we take this approach, it's patentable, and that's where the value lies. So again, you know your stuff. I was very impressed. I wish you every success with it.
Thanks, Con. But yeah, I was really impressed with your presentation at the very outset. Useful information, you engaged very well. It was knowledge, it was stuff that, oh yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting to know. You talked about the size of the market towards the end and the margin. I'm a high margin kind of guy. I like high margin type of products that have high barriers to entry. It ticks an awful lot of boxes for people. There's no doubt about that. I was at certain points wondering where it was going to, And when we're going to get down to the business end of the presentation, which you did get to, but we were cut off, you were timed out. I think you could have, not quite flipped it on its head, but it was kind of 90, it was 80-20 there, that if you could maybe give it at least 50% on the explanation from a technical point of view and then 50% on the commercials, that would have allowed us to get under the bonnet a bit more.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's true. Well, I probably, because I'm a technical person, I probably need more business development.
Actually, something I was going to add to that, because you're technical, because it applies to a lot of people in the room, whether it's tech or pharma or AI, whatever type of product that you're selling, we used to sell outsourced services for payroll accountancy to IT and telecom studies. And when we used to go, our route to market was via staffing agencies, and we're all very, very salesy, and we were very technical on our international payroll and accounting. And somebody, and it's a slightly crude explanation, but somebody explained it to me after he saw me doing my first presentation to a customer to get business, because it was highly technical, and my audience was very non-technical or very salesy, so they were total opposite. And he said to me, Winston Churchill said, be very careful, this came from a Winston Churchill quote, be very careful when you're talking to people about your subject, because you might be really enthusiastic about it, you may want to show, demonstrate, and be very passionate like our previous speakers about your subject. However, the audience may not be. And he said, and this is the good part, he said, it's a bit like peeing down the side of your leg. It might feel very hot to you, but not to anybody else. So be mindful of that.
Right, back to the audience. I mean, the area you're in, by the way, is a very profitable area. Phase 4 of the company I work with is over 400 million. So if you want some help on that, give me a buzz afterwards. Right, guys, back to our questions. Just walk us through it. How many of you think it's a good idea? Okay. Would you use or recommend this to somebody? Huh? All right. Do you think it's a good brand name? Okay. Do you think that she has a strong winning team, and is she credible? Sure, you can put a few more hands up there. Five's here. All right. Do you think that they will succeed? Okay. How many of you would invest in this? Okay. And how many would like to be involved in the startup? Suzanne, you can put your hand up. There's somebody you can talk to. She already works with the pharma startup. So
Yeah, no,
make sure you connect with her in the break.
great
All right.
presentation.
So, are we ready for the next speaker?
Well done.
Are you guys enjoying it?
Yeah.
Great stuff. Beats television, doesn't it? Can I ask a little favor of you while I'm just setting this up? If you can go to the meetup and just give it a positive thing, whichever one you signed up through, and tell your friends, because if we're going to run this again, we need to get your participation, your engagement, and your message out there. So, would you like to see more of these events?
Yeah.
Hands up? Still missing a few hands. Never happy. Which one is it? This one here.
I'll speak up. Hi everybody, my name is Todd Brown. I'm a product manager with maybe 15 years or so experience in gaming and energy, most recently. I'm currently and imminently in the sector I'm going to discuss tonight, which is health and fitness. I was just looking at my reflection in the glass there and I had a curious thought. How come when we look in a mirror, left and right are flipped, or not upside down? Perhaps somebody could look into that, so to speak. Speaking of mirrors, I'd like to ask a question. Is anyone here touchy about their weight? Wasn't expecting to show a hand, but thank you. For your bravery. It's a strangely provocative and controversial topic to raise sometimes, especially in social settings. I'm being provocative for a reason. And the ripple that occurred and that we felt when the topic was broached reflects half of the problem when it comes to addressing the challenge that my product is designed to attempt to address. First problem is the obesity epidemic itself. I'm going to drop the political correctness, as you might have guessed. I'm not the most politically correct dude in Ireland. I'm going to call this the Fat Map. 1975. These are the adult obesity rates globally. 2014, already 5 years ago. And let's just say the tide hasn't turned in the last 5 years. We can see Ireland and the UK here taking its place with North America, almost literally sinking under our collective weight. Of course, for individual humans, it's not about stats, it's not about graphs and charts. We are human, feeling, emotional animals affected within these data. So, this is what the human picture looks like. Or perhaps, if we want to be entirely realistic, the fact is, overweight and obesity are optional. We don't have to buy in to the trend. You might even, if you wanted to be somewhat sarcastic, fashion for obesity, at least the acceptance of obesity, which was anomalous in 75, but now is normal, commonplace, accepted, and possibly even expected amongst peers, for example, teenagers, etc. It's hard to be different, and it's going to be the case that being normal weight is considered underweight and is likely to have you not seeming like your peers. The problem, of course, is we didn't evolve for this world. We evolved over millions of years in a challenging environment, a scarcity environment, where we had to strive and struggle. Now, we have everything within hand's reach. And on top of this, everything is served to us. So we have access to endless calorific intake, food, distraction, and also it's pushed very aggressively at us by the commercial world that we live in. All in the interests of this guy who I've personified here, economic growth. It's as if we are mandated to do our bit for economic success and being good consumers. And my pitch and my stance on it is that we don't have to take our place in this phenomenon, that we can opt and we can encourage each other to step outside of it. We can decide not to deplete our lives, the lives of our kids, our children, our friends, our families. But this requires our staying on track with the required clarity, focus, and free will that will facilitate this time and again. So this is Longamer, the app whereby users sign up, identify their challenge, which becomes a personalized fitness brand, identifying them as having made a commitment towards their health and fitness. This is 120 users who've signed up so far, and the commitments that they have made in this regard to better their lives. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Challenge to fit into 5 minutes. I'd love to hear more. I'm sure everybody else would, but it wouldn't be fair on all the other speakers too. So.
Right.
Yeah, this is always a challenge to get it all squeezed in, something you don't need to
A chance to get leaving again.
You did, yeah. I think it's similar to the other one, if you get a 50-50, that would be great because you've got an intriguing product here. You put it across with phenomenal credibility and humour. I love just the world problem, the individual problem, and I think we got that very early on. And I think in a world where we've got attention spans that are shrinking from, it used to be, going back to your 1975, it was probably a half an hour attention span, and it was 20 minutes. Now I think we're down to 2-minute attention spans. So we've all this ever-shrinking attention span that perhaps you want to pick up the pace and just get to your point, because I was really intrigued and wanting to, and then when you put up that slide and you flicked it on after 10 seconds, like, whoa, there's so much good stuff in there. You know, the quit smoking, the health goals that I just saw in the flicker there. There was just a lot of stuff in there that was looked top drawer. I'd love to hear more about it, but I guess we haven't got enough time for the questions. But a couple of really quick questions. What revenue are you at right now?
So we have 10%, so there's 120 sign-ups there. 10% of these people have purchased an item of apparel. So revenues are in the 5,000 to 10,000 range based on projections for 6 months.
Okay. And
So it's small. It's small.
And who's involved?
Just myself.
Just you.
Yeah, I'm also full-time as a market manager in the energy sector as much as
I need
my
to
side
get out of
project.
here full time as soon as possible because you
That's
have a great product there. You know, with a little bit of tweaking, but not a lot. With a little bit of tweaking, you'll be able to present a wonderful product. So well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done, Todd. Very, very interesting. Love the flat map. And I love the 1975 and 75 and 2019. I'm in the school.
For those of us who remember 75, right?
Yeah, there you go, yeah. I'm in the school leaders business, and so I've seen this stuff firsthand in the last 16 years. There was a time when poor meant skinny, now poor means fat, and you said something really interesting and scary in there, that it's almost fashionable, or at least acceptable now, and I see it all the time, and I think it's tragic. So my sense of it is you're at the cusp of something. I'm hoping there's a change coming. And there are certainly a cohort of people out there who want to change and want to be healthier. And so I think you're onto something. I'm not quite sure how it's going to manifest, but you know, to go back to all these 1975 T-shirt brands that are still being sold in, you know, Volkswagen minibuses and all this sort of stuff. So there's something in your brand here. I can see in the power range coming. So yeah. Well done.
Great. Thank you very much.
Well done.
You happy? I wish you could go faster. I really want to know about it. You were definitely doing the TV commercial, you know, and you're like, 31 kilometers.
Yeah.
Huh? You teased us all right. Okay, guys, what did you think of it? Would you like to first of all give him an applause? See, you can be unconventional and still like.
Even offend people.
I don't think you offended anybody. Guys, was it a good idea?
Yeah.
Let's make fitness a game. Right. Okay. Would you use or recommend it? Okay. And what did you think of his brand and his style and the whole ethos? Is he onto something?
Yeah.
Okay. And Do you think he's a strong player? Does he make a good CEO? Huh? Can he move from product manager to CEO? Right. Do you think he'll succeed? Great stuff. You got everybody here betting on you. And would you invest in this startup? Anybody? Do you want to give a little pitch on? You can go and sign up to which website?
Longgamer.com. It's not very more.
Go on. Going to give you a pitch.
Longgamer.com. Find out more.
The other one is Renewal Diary, right? So don't forget those ones. Okay, the ones that are ready to go. Do your bit to help the Irish startup scene. Right, guys. How many of you would like to help? He probably needs help in marketing and building a team. You've got some prospective people who would love to be involved. So, right, we have our furthest away entrant. I think this is the last one, yes? Peter has been very patient and he's come from a long way away. I love his product, but that's as far as I'm going for a thing here. So, do you want to?
Electronic eyewear now.
Just taking an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, fire away.
Okay.
I'm here to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you very much. Timer is on. This is an Optec with the world's first transhuman vision enhancement system to improve safety and performance. My name is. Oops, it's not working.
The other way. It's up and down.
All right, sorry. Okay, my name is Ralph Knoll. I'm a physicist and electronics engineer. I'm an independent management consultant for the past 20 years. I worked for venture capital, I restructured startups, and I got tired of it, so I created my own startup. 10% of all fatal accidents are due to impaired vision. Deep standing sun and oncoming car headlights at night impose problems. Pilots keep complaining about lightning, lasers, and sun glare. In autosports, we see mishaps due to glare or darkness. Instruments and displays are not readable in the sun. Why? Because our visual system is only built for walking speeds. However, postmodern humans travel faster than walking speeds. As a consequence, our eyes are outdated. I'm sorry to say this. So we need an upgrade. The human iris is too slow whenever we enter a dark area like a tunnel. Solution? Rapid adaptation goggles ensure constant illumination at the eye. At night or against the sun, normal sunglasses cannot increase the wanted light versus the unwanted light, but we can. Solution number 2 is our anti-glare system for glare suppression up to 95%. So we can suppress the glare of the oncoming traffic or of the sun. And the result is here, and this is the result. All essential displays are glare-free
and readable. So, we provide perfect vision, day or night, under otherwise impossible viewing conditions. These new human abilities provide a huge safety and performance advantage. The serviceable, obtainable market SOM is greater than 1 billion, possibly even 6 billion. We start with our own B2C online shops, selling at 400 euros, earning 250 euros EBIT. Followed by B2C, sales channels via retailers, earning 170 euros EBIT. And finally, we would license to well-known brands, still earning 100 euros EBIT. It was the most massive patent filing in the history of any seed finance startup. I filed 8 patents myself in 10 countries. Inoptec owns a technology monopoly in all relevant feature categories. Inoptec is the only company which provides high dynamic range and contrast. So we are in both fields, dynamic range and contrast. All team members have already exited startup companies to the US. I sold the company to the US. Andreas Umbach from Berlin, he exited to Finisar in Silicon Valley, he started. So we are all experienced. This is the team. Oh my God.
About to wrap up there, I think you won't go through the 45 slides.
I don't know, can you reactivate? I'm almost done.
Okay, they quickly.
Yeah, but the time is not over, right?
It just.
It is? Ah, okay, now it's gone. Okay, so it's not working. So it's not working, sorry about this. I don't know what went wrong. Wrapping it up, I do it verbally. We collected 800k seed money. I put myself 200k into it, so it's almost 1 million seed money now. We have still some seed shares left, some residual seed shares, like 200k. Now we are looking for 2 million in parallel as a Series A investment. And the idea is to finalize this product. You can see here the electronics is rather big. We want to shrink it. We want to have a sexy, fashionable design. This all will cost 800k, and another 800k will be used to produce this product and to bring it into the market, so marketing cost. So in a nutshell, with only 2 million, we can produce a very sophisticated product and bring it into the market, and it's working quite nicely. If you want to try it out, I will be out there later. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Ralph came, was it last year or the year before?
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
And we had about 200 people at that event, I'm sure you remember, John. And everybody signed up, and I said, well, got to do it on crowdfunding, because I am sure that it will be a success. And we pass you on to Paul.
Well done, and big vision, apart from for your product, really, really big vision. You clearly know what you're talking about. You've got a great team of experienced people behind you. You're not afraid to ask for the big money. I suppose the question that I would have, spoke with this earlier today with somebody, is there a gap in the market? Probably, from what I took from this, it was about the safety aspect of it. It's not necessarily a fashion piece of apparel. No. Okay.
We are is that your question? Okay. We are aiming at those markets where people really need this product. It's almost like a pacemaker for your heart or a hearing aid. We know, for example, there are 70 million migraine patients out there. 30 million of them are suffering a lot. and they are begging for this product because they are so light sensitive. The light can trigger a migraine, and we can protect them because the illumination on the glass is always constant, like a flat line. And I went into a Facebook group, group secretly with migraine patients, and I asked them who wants to buy it, and 90% said immediately yes, and they were willing to pay any price. The same is true for motorcyclists. They have both hands on the handlebar. You cannot really remove your sunglasses when you go into a dark tunnel with 80 miles per hour. So one of our main features is hands-free. And last but not least, the glasses are so fast, even military is interested. If you throw a flash grenade, the goggles are faster than the flash, so you're always protected. And this is why we believe we can sell into markets where we can have really high prices and high margins.
Yeah, well, clearly you followed through, and wish you every success.
Thank you.
Great pitch, Ralph. Yeah, you're a seasoned pro. It came across really, really well. One of my questions was, what's your test marketing? What have you done so far? Good idea going into the Facebook group. Have you gone out and spoken to retailers or to government bodies?
Yeah, what we want to do is basically to address first the migraine patients because they are waiting and begging for the product. So this is a very safe route for us. The second market is outdoor sports, because ambitious athletes, when they go downhill and then suddenly into a dark area with their skis or mountain bikes, they love the product. And we are a little bit hesitant with military because it's not good for marketing purposes. We do this maybe eventually later. The same is true for automotive, the same is true for pilots, because it's a much more expensive product than for pilots, because we need to fulfill more standards and regulations, etc. So we want to go B2C deliberately, then B2B later. So
in your Facebook, in your questions to the Facebook group, did you ask anything about your proposed pricing?
Oh yes, they were willing to pay 600, and I'm going to sell it for 400 because they suffer a lot. What I didn't know before, but I learned it, a migraine patient is not only light sensitive, it can actually trigger a migraine. And you can take the word trigger literally. So if you are exposed in the morning to too much light, then it goes automatically worse and worse and worse and worse. So they have to be protected right away, all day, and therefore they are willing to pay the highest price.
The cost-benefit analysis is just a no-brainer for someone with migraine. Great. And what percentage are you?
Okay. Yeah, currently we are selling shares for business angels at a discounted price, as a little thank you for those who come on board early. It's currently 5 million, the pre-money evaluation. This is due to the patents. The patents are already lots of money worth. The point is actually not the pre-money valuation, it's more how much can you make. So we offer a return of invest of a factor of 10. We benchmark other electronic eyeglass companies which were purchased by Intel. They were sold for 100 million, for example. And I think even if we exit for 50 million, we can offer a factor of 10. And regarding the Series A investment of 2 million, I believe a fair valuation is around 10 million. So we will offer 20%, something like that. Up to 24% max.
Very good. Thank you.
Now, this is always the hardest thing to say, which is how are the audience going to take it? Okay, guys, so did you think it was a good idea?
Yeah.
There you go. Vote of confidence there. Would you use or recommend this product? Okay, and do you think he's got a good brand name with an Optec? Okay, some work needed there. Do you think he's got a strong and winning team? Great stuff. Do you think he'll succeed? I know Ralph's been working for quite a few years, and it's a good example of he's been pitching and improving. I can see this is an improvement of tenfold around, if you don't mind me saying so.
Okay, thank you.
The last one was really, really long. This is why I like to cut it to 5 minutes. Would you invest in the startup? Well then. And how many of you would like to be involved with Ralph and join him on his journey? Great stuff. All right. So guys, first of all, a big hand for all the people who pitched. Many of you are involved in startups or pitches or whatever. As you know, I work with a lot of startups as a mentor, advisor, consultant. I've helped companies raise 18, 20 million. So feel free to connect with me. If you want a business card, come with me. We got some sheets there. Will you guys have a few minutes to spare to network? So there's some coffee out there. Take some time and network, because half the purpose is only the pitch. Could I ask a big favor? How many would come to this again? How many would like to pitch at the next one? What's the really important thing? To turn out. All right. So could you go to the meetup groups and sort of spread the word, because if we're going to run this again, I need you to evangelize it. It's a lot of work and hard effort. And most of all, I really want to show our appreciation for two very important group of people. Without whom this wouldn't be possible. First of all, Colin, Brian, would you mind standing up?
Our pleasure.
I'm sure everybody would agree they really make great dragons. And I hope we'll see them again. And secondly, of course, a big and warm thank you to Michelle and the team from Nova. Michelle, would you like to take us out on this? Would you like to say anything more?
No, just thanks everyone for coming, and I hope everyone got something beneficial out of it. I thought they were really interesting pitches, and hopefully we'll see another one here again in the future.
All right.
So thank you.
Of course, without an audience, this isn't an event. So a big round of applause to all of you.